you just tell me a little bit about yourself?
I'll start with what I do now. I'm currently Vice President Community Affairs for State Fair, Texas. And in my role, I'm responsible for our philanthropy, our educational programming, and our signature events that we do in the South Dallas area. I started in 2016 and there really wasn't a department at all. And so I developed our areas of focus and what our philanthropic giving would look like, and developed our programs. And so developed what area of town, I wanted to make sure that we were taking care of the folks that were in that immediate area. And I've always loved community. And so for me, it's always important to be in roles where I can use my relationships to begin to try to make changes in community. And I've really tried to focus on doing things that can impact people's lives.
So why do you think that community, the sense of community is so important?
You can't exist without it. I believe, one, God created us to be in community with each other. So we were wired to be in relationship. I think about the cross and how the cross reaches up to people, but it also reaches out. And I think that that's what's so important for us, is sometimes we forget that we are here to help one another, and that I may have gifts and talents that you don't have that can help you get closer to your destiny. So I think community is just one of those ways of helping us get closer to our purpose and our destiny. We get to see ourselves reflected in the people that we're around.
You talked a lot about you've been using your roles to develop community, and a lot of that is focused on trying to help small nonprofits and nonprofits for people of color. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I was on the other side for years and being in a nonprofit and working in community, and then to move on this side of being a funder, I noticed that a lot of those smaller organizations don't get the attention that they need. And especially when they're organizations led by people of color, they oftentimes just don't have the support to do the work. They're doing great work, but they don't have the relationships. And they don't have the resources that are necessary. And so for me, it became important to be an advocate and to make sure that I was highlighting and lifting up, these organizations that were led by some amazing women and men that oftentimes people just don't see. And so I spent a lot of time, helping them and giving them, support through trainings and technical assistance, but also connecting them to resources like other funders, so that they get the resources they need.
It sounds like you were really trying to spread the word out and get some people connected with whoever they needed to be with.
I do a lot of that. I have a event that I do every year called Community Engagement Day that brings together hundreds of folks and various nonprofits to connect to each other. So we do a lot of different things to try to build relationships. I try to do that in a number of ways to give people the resources they need to be successful.
So doing a lot of that, I see you said you're a co-founder of the Heritage Giving Circle. Can you just talk to me a little bit about that?
So Heritage started with a lady by the name of Akila Wallace, who came to me and another lady, Dr. Halima Leaks Francis. And she said, I want to start a giving circle where we pool our money, and these funds are used to support organizations led by Black women, because research just came out recently that proves that less than 1% of funding goes to organizations that are led by Black women. And we knew that, being in nonprofits, that we just didn't see women having those opportunities. And we started pooling our funds. We got together with about 40 other women. And since 2017, we've raised about $50,000 that we've distributed to nonprofits in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We also support our members, those women who are giving their $500 a year or their $1,000 a year. And we support them through events and mentoring. And so it's just an amazing group of phenomenal women that I'm just honored to be a part of that as well.
What's it like just being able to bring all those women together in terms of, and especially like, although it's African-American women, but like different backgrounds, different lifestyles, how is that?
Oh, it's interesting because you've got so many different ages. You've got, women that are, a little seasoned like myself and a little more seasoned, who are millennials. And for me, it's encouraging to see younger women who are really excited about doing something to make impact. I'm big on mentoring. And so much of what I do is mentoring younger folks, because I recognize the power when we work together. And so I mentor younger folks of all different backgrounds and ethnicities, just to give people the opportunity to learn from what, I've done well or not so well. And so for me, Heritage is a great place where I see all these amazing young women that I get to be around and pour into.
Can you tell me, why did you select these three?
I see so many people now who hide from their possibility. And I don't mean being arrogant and walking around going, I'm great, look at me. Not that at all. But I think it's recognizing that God has placed something in each of us that's so important. And when I find that in myself and you find that, what happens to the world? Now we're able to do some amazing things because we've discovered that light that's in both of us. And I love that quote. It resonates with me because I was like, one of those folks that she references where she's saying, why are you, you're hiding? Who are you to do that? How dare we look less upon ourselves and each other when God created all of us, and there's something in all of us that's the solution to any problem you can find. One of us has a solution to address that. Isn't that awesome? And that's why that quote does that for me. It's just like, wow, if we recognize the greatness that existed in ourselves and each other, the way our world would look would be so different.